friends, this is Vicki with Grandma Vicki Crafts, and today I've got some snowflake ornaments that I got from the Dollar Tree in 3 different sizes. Oops. So the small one is a package of 10. That's what that one looks like. Then the next size up is a package of 6. And then the large ones are a package of 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a Christmas tree. So we're going to need the hot glue gun and some glue sticks. We need some of these little wooden craft cubes from the Crafters Square collection at the Dollar Tree. And something to use for a base, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this or not, but we'll see as we get to that time. So right now we're going to take our little snowflakes out of the package, and then we'll get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to start our tree with the little decorations here, and you'll see that there's like a big branch and a small branch and a big branch and a small branch. So what we're going to do as we layer them, and what I did to start with was I took the one and then I hot glued a little cube into the center of that round piece there. I hot glued that down. So now I'm going to hot glue the next one down, but I want to alternate the big branches. So I want to make sure when I glue this one down, I've got the big branch between the two. There's 2 big branches on here. Got some glue strings here. 2 big branches here. So when I glue this one down, I want to be sure that my big branch on this one is going to go between that one. So I hope that you understand that. So I'm going to glue this down, doing that. And I'll hold that until it dries. So then we'll have something that looks like this and like this. So the big branch is back here and the big branches are there. So now I've got my second little cube on, and I put it on, I don't know if you can tell, but the first one that I put on, the first little cube, it was just right down square. Right down just square. And this one that I put it on kind of like on an angle. And I'm going to do that as I go up with the hopes that it will make it appear to be more level. So now I'm going to put on my third big leaf, and that's going to go on again, staggering the big branches between. Okay. And we'll hold that on until it sets. So that's what we have so far. So we have 3 of the big ones attached to form the bottom of our tree. So now we're going to go to the next size, the middle size, and there's 6 in this package, and we're going to use 5. So we'll set 1 aside. So we're going to put another little cube on top there, and I'm going to place my cube down like that. Then I'm going to take one of the middle-sized ones, and I'm going to hot glue that. And once again, being mindful of where the branches are, we want to continue staggering those branches as well. And we're just going to continue going up to make our tree. So then we'll put another little block on, and then we'll put another little branch on, and we'll continue until we have put on all 5. So there we have it so far, and oh my goodness, is that not cute? It's really cute. It's really cute in person. So now we're going to continue here. We have to figure out what we're going to do for a little top, so I'll be back. Okay, so what I'm doing is with that last small one that I attached, I'm going to cut off all the bigger sections just like that, just to cut that part off. So there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's what our little tree is going to look like at this point. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of these little pieces that I cut off after I put on my little cube here. And I'm going to put on 2 little branches. What I'm trying to do is to make it kind of come up more to a point. So I'll put some glue on my cube, and I'll stick 2 of these down, one right across from the other. And then I'll stick 2 more across on the opposite sides from one another. Make sure they get glued down there. And that's what that will look like now. I'm not sure if you can see that. So we'll let that dry. So this is what we've got so far. So that's got our 3 large ones, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 medium ones, and now we're going to continue and put on 5 of the small ones. This is just going to be so cute. So we just continue putting on a block, and then we'll put on another little snowflake, making sure that the branches are staggered still. cute. So I'll continue gluing the rest of these on. There's 3 more, and then I'll be back. So now what I did was I took one of these little trees that I also got from the Dollar Tree. They come in a package of 2, and they're just called Ornaments. And so what I did was I just took my wire cutters and I just snipped off that very top part of the tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue that onto the top for the top of my tree here. So we're going to see what that is going to look like here. So we'll put some glue on the top of this last little block, and we'll just stick that down in there and we'll hold it. And we'll see how that works for the top of our little tree. So I think that's pretty cute so far, but now we have to decorate it. So once this little top part has glued, then I'll be back and we'll do some decorations. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and paint my little cubes. It's a cream color is what I've got. It's an acrylic paint, and I'm just going to go in and just paint the little cubes a creamy color. I could leave it brown, but I just think I want to paint them so they don't just jump right out at us here. So then after I get that done, I have some red sheer ribbon, and I have some of these glitter vase fillers, and I thought I would use the red little vase fillers in here and just decorate it. I had thought about fairy lights as well, but I'm not sure yet, so we'll decide on that later. So here we are, almost finished with painting these little cubes, and it really didn't take long. Now you could do this ahead of time if you wanted to, but actually it doesn't really take that long to do after the fact if you should decide that you want them painted. So there we are. So now it's all painted, and I do think that looks better. It doesn't just jump right out at you. So I'm happier with that. So now we'll let that dry and then we can carry on. So here it is so far. Now, if you remember, when I was cutting off the little branches off the smallest tree, we used 4 to go on that next row up. Well, then I had 2 left over, so I ended up putting it on the next level right underneath the top of my tree. But then as I got looking at it, I didn't think it looked level or even, so I cut off another one off of a new, oh, here we are, off of a new snowflake, and I'm just going to hot glue that one just in here, and I think then that's going to look better. So we'll do that now. So we'll just stick that in under that little tree branch and hold it there. To dry. And then that's going to just make it look better in my eye anyway. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as the base for my tree, and I'm going to put some wax on it. Now this wax is it's just called wax, water base, semi-transparent, wax, and I got this one at Michael's. So we're just going to put that on with a paper towel or a baby wipe, and then I'll be back. So now that I've got the wax on, I think that looks pretty good. And I just used a baby wipe to rub it on. And I did use just a small paintbrush just to get in the little nooks and crannies. And then I wiped it more with the baby wipe. So, oh, and this was, it was just called wood plaque. And I got that from the Dollar Tree in the Crafter's Square section. So that's what that was, or is. So now, for the base for my tree, what I'm going to use is, I bought some of these foam dies from the Dollar Tree, and I just took one of them and I cut a piece off because I thought it was too tall, but that's up to you. That's your preference. But I thought then that I would put my tree on that and then put it on my little stand. And then I thought also I would cover 2 or 3 of these little blocks with some wrapping paper and just set them down underneath the tree for little presents. So we'll get to all of that later. So now the next thing is we're going to let this dry and we're going to work on the tree some more, and we're going to put on some ribbon. So I'm taking, for the bottom branches, I'm taking a 6-inch piece of ribbon and I'm cutting the little ends off on an angle. I'm putting it over my little spatula stick here, and I'm going to hot glue across the top of the ribbon there. Now I put 2 on the very bottom post. So now I'm going up to the next branch and I'm going to put 2 ribbons opposite, if that makes sense. I've got 2 on the bottom across from one another, and now the next 2 I'm alternating the spacing of them in opposite directions. Now you could probably do more if you wanted to, but I think this is going to be lots. So we'll do one more, and then as we go up the tree, of course, the ribbon lengths will get shorter, but we can always cut them off if they're too long when we're done. Okay, so we have 2 on the bottom, then we have 2 on the next branch. So now we're going to put 2 more of the 6-inch ones on the next row up. So you just have to see where you'd like to place them and just place them wherever you think it's going to look right. So I've got 1 on that side. So now I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to put my last 6-inch length across from it using my little spatula. And this little deal that I'm using, you get this in the cosmetic section at the Dollar Tree. But it works really good for working with hot glue. So now I'm going to continue, and I've got my ribbon, and I'll just probably start with 5 inches, and I'll do 2 or 3 rows at the 5 inches. And like I said earlier, if it ends up being too long, we can always cut the little tails off when we're done. But that's what it's looking like so far. So I have the ribbon all on, and as I said, I had started out with approximately 5 inches at the bottom for a couple of rows. Then I went up to 4, 3, and 2. And if you think any of the pieces of ribbon are too long, then like maybe this one is a little bit too long, you can always just snip it off at the end to make it look the way you want it to look. Now you're going to have lots of glue strings, so you'll have to get those out. But anyhow, so now what I'm going to do is, before I glue it down, I was thinking about gluing it down onto my base. So now I did paint my little block white. I used this little block and I just painted it white. I had to give it several coats of white paint, but that's going to be the base for my tree there. But before I glue that down, I'm going to use my glitter vase filler, and I'm going to take just the little small red balls, and I'm going to glue a few of those on my tree. And we'll see what that looks like. There's a variety of sizes in here, so I'm just going to take some of the small ones and glue them down onto my tree. So I have put a few of the little balls. We've got a kind of a variety of sizes in here. So I used some of the small balls at the top, and then down towards the bottom, I found the next size up, and I've glued on a few of those. So now I'll just go around my tree and just here and there putting on another of the little balls and the medium-sized balls. And I think that's looking really cute. What do you think? So I think that is looking really cute. And I've glued the base down onto the block there. And now I'm going to hot glue my tree down onto the white block. Then I've got to let that sit to dry, and I'm going to work on the little presents, and I'm not sure yet about lights. We'll see. So here's my little tree, and instead of the lights for this one, I decided I would make a little bow for the top using the same ribbon that I had used on the tree itself. And I attached just another little one of these craft beads in there. So I think that turned out pretty cute. And then I went ahead and I just made a couple of little presents. And all I did for that was I just took some wrapping paper and I cut out a little piece to fit the square, and I Mod Podged it on, made a little bow with some twine, and I hot glued it on, and so there we have our little presents by the tree. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I think it turned out really cute, something different. And so just to recap, we just used snowflakes from the Dollar Tree. These are the large ones. There's 3 to a pack. The next size, there's 6 to a pack. And the next size smaller, there was 10 to a pack, and we used 5 of those. And then the little woodcraft cubes that are from the Dollar Tree as well. And I just used some paint and some ribbon, hot glue sticks, of course, and your glue gun. And then for the top of my tree, I just picked up one of these and I cut off the top. And then the little vase fillers that I used for the decorations. So if you would give me a big thumbs up for this one, I'd really appreciate it. And I also want to thank all my new subscribers. I'm amazed at how many people are tuning in to watch me, and I appreciate you all so much. So if you would share this with your friends and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and always remember to be kind. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.